Welcome to the Final Expense Sales Academy, the hub for mastering the art of final expense life insurance sales. If you're looking to become a pro in the final expense industry, you're in the right place. My name is Kyle Williams, and I'm your host to go through the ins and outs of the final expense business, from tips to tricks to industry insights. We cover everything you need to close deals with confidence, provide true value to your clients, and become a better insurance agent. So hit that subscribe button and let's get started on elevating your sales game one video at a time. In this episode, we're going to talk about what agency or what IMO should you join. There's tons of IMOs and agencies for final expense insurance out there available to you. To be honest with you, it's almost intimidating when you're looking at all of them to try to figure out which agency should you join. Well, in this episode, we're going to talk about some things that you should look for. We're going to debunk some myths and maybe call a couple out as well. So, each IMO or each agency is going to promise you big things. To be truthfully honest, a lot of them are going to promise you all the same things. So how do you cut through the mud on all that? Well, here's a big truth. No matter what they claim, each agency or each IMO, as long as they're independent and not captive, are all 85% the same. They all have access to the same carriers. Comp levels or commission levels are all very comparable, and they all have a lead program or lead vendors that they recommend. So how do you pick the right one for you? Well, I'm going to name a couple things off here that you can look for, and then we'll break it down, each one of those, so that way you can help decide which agency or which IMO is best for you. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to decide, do you want to sell telesales over the phone, or do you want to sell in person? So the first thing you need to do is you need to find an agency that does the desired method of sales that you want to do. Not very often do agencies do both of those very well. So you need to find one that excels in the one that you're wanting to do. The next thing, leads. If you don't have anybody to sell to, you can't sell any insurance, and thus you can't make any income, and thus it's hard to be an insurance agent. So what are some things that you need to look for and ask about for leads? Number one is your leads need to be exclusive. They need to be exclusive to you. They don't need to be resold. They need to be freshly generated, and they don't need to be old. Next thing you want to know is how much are they? How much the lead cost? So that way you can accurately assess how much it's going to cost you to work every week. Or do they offer a free lead deal? Do they give you the leads at no cost, but they still need to be exclusive and freshly generated? So make sure of that. Next thing you need to know is what type of leads will you be working? There's usually three places that they're generated from: Google, Facebook, and direct mail. So you need to know what type of leads you want to be working and what those costs are. Some have a mixture of all three, so you need to know the cost. And then the last thing you need to know is how many leads a week do you need to work? Or if you're on a free lead deal, how many leads a week will you be given? This is very important because it then gives you the ability to determine what the probabilities of me being able to make a sale. So also too, if you're buying your leads, you need to know the cost of your leads and then recommended amount of leads you need to buy every week, so that way you can accurately assess how much is it going to cost me to go to work every week, and can you afford that before you go jump in. So that's some things that you need to know about leads. Now, the next thing you need to know about is training. If you're brand new in the insurance business, you need to know how to be able to sell final expense life insurance. So how are they going to train you? It cannot just be off videos that they show you and send you out for the wolves. You need to have some hands-on training. Who's going to train you? Who's going to be the person that trains you? Are they credible? How many people have they trained before? What does their track record look like? Are they successful at sales? And then last thing you know is, how long will training be? My recommendation is you need at least 2 weeks of hands-on, very, very hands-on training. So then that way you can be set up for success to be able to successfully go out and sell. So that's some things that you can ask about training and some things you need to know. Next thing is the culture of the agency. Now, this is kind of hard to judge, but in today's time, it's a little bit easier with technology. So what is a culture? Is it a healthy culture, or is it a demeaning culture? Do they want everybody to succeed, or do they only care about themselves? Is it healthy competition, or is it negative competition? So those are some things you need to know. Is it a healthy culture, or is it an unhealthy culture? A lot of times you can see how long people have worked there to determine how healthy the culture is. So the last thing, this is the most important, is the upline. Who's going to be the person that you report to? Your upline is the most pivotal element. You need somebody who can answer the phone call whenever you need them, to be able to get you an answer that you need. If they can't get it, at least they can get it for you. Okay? But you need somebody who can at least answer your phone call. You need an upline who can be able to push you to be better. They want more out of you than maybe you can see. They want to push you to become better every week, every month, every year. You just need somebody who genuinely cares about you. And you need somebody, that upline needs to be able to train you effectively. They need to know how to do the job. They need to have been able to produce at a high level, moderate to high level, so that way they can show you how to do it. Okay? And this upline needs to have at least 1 year experience. They can't have just started yesterday or last week or a month or even maybe 6 months. They need to have at least a year in the business, so that way they can go through some of the struggles that you're going to go through. They have proven themselves that they can sell, and they can provide you some advice that you can't really see across on the horizon. So those are some things you look for in an upline. Here are some warnings that you can look for if you're talking to people. If the individual that is trying to recruit you to come work at that agency is flashing their bank account and bragging about how much money they make, it's probably not the place to go, because all they care about is the money. They're probably not going to care about you. Not always the case, but oftentimes that's the way it is. If they make you bring so many friends or family to the table so that way they can write an insurance policy, so that way you can get contracted, run. All you're doing is producing free leads for that individual. They don't really care about you. If they cared about you, they would have you bring all those friends and family, and you would write the business. Another thing to look for is, did the person just start? If this person just started and they're trying to recruit you to the business, maybe hold off, or maybe talk to somebody else who can effectively train you. Okay? So, to kind of wrap this video up, the 4 things that you want to look for in an agency is how you plan on selling, training, the culture of the agency, and your upline. That's really 5 things, but it's 4 things that you want to look for in the agency. So there's a lot of agencies for you to join. And to be honest with you, nobody really has something that somebody else doesn't. They pretty much all have the same things, okay? The best piece of advice I can tell you is find one that fits you, the one that you feel most comfortable with, the one that you feel at home with, the one that you connect with. And the most important thing is you need to find an upline that can guide you along the way. You need to be able to connect with that upline, somebody who's been there, proven, that you connect with, that can help you out, that you feel like you're very comfortable with, that will set you up to win. If you just find the right upline, it doesn't matter what agency you work for. Find the right upline. That's the whole moral of this video, is find the right upline that can take care of you and guide you along the way, and they will take you to heights that is unimaginable to you. So, as we wrap this up, if you have any questions, comment below. Be sure to subscribe so that way you can catch the latest videos. If you've got something valuable here, be sure to share it on social media, share it to your friends, colleagues in the business, and comment below what was your favorite piece of content in this video, and we'll see you in the next one.